There you go. Dobroden.
Dobroden.
So today is not the normal sunny beach because we have some cloud. It's very, very warm, but it's cloudy. But we've come across to Nessebar. So if you get a cloudy day, jump on the boat or the bus, come across here. There's lots of little shops, alleyways and places just to walk around and enjoy. And actually, to be honest, it is better here when it's cooler. The streets are very narrow. They do get a bit overheated when in the height of the summer. So this is the windmill. You come across a causeway to old Nessebar from new Nessebar. So there's a causeway where the buses come across. And your main feature here is this fantastic windmill, which has just been restored. It's completely rotten, and I've spent weeks and weeks doing this. It looks absolutely fantastic now. It's like the symbol of the town, really. You've got some castle walls, some nice statues of a little harbour. I don't know if you can catch it on the film. Let's just see if we can catch this. And so there is Sunny Beach across the bay, and as you can see, oh, it's a little bit cloudy today. And I pan across, and there's Svetty Blas, and as I go past there to Elinet, there's some rain. So there are some little showers around today, but hopefully we're not going to get caught in one, because we're having to walk about because our car has gone in for a service in Nessebar. We dropped the car off a couple of hours ago. We've just been and ordered our new tiles for our kitchen and dining room. So I've been in the shop and paid them some money. So we've now got 2 or 3 hours to spend before we can pick the car up. So we're going to have a little walk to old Nessebar here. And for the regulars who've been before, the little trains are running again. Only started a few days ago, but the little trains, tourist trains, are running, and they do look a lot smarter this year. I've seen a couple this morning. Certainly had a lick of paint. I haven't really noticed them that much last year. I don't think it's full service, but actually they do look very smart now. They're very shiny.
Do bear in mind, they only take you as far as the stadium from here.
It's a double trip.
Yeah, you don't go all
You have to get off halfway along, and it's everybody thinks you get on the train to Nessebar, but actually you don't. You stop at the stadium, have to change train, so it is a lot dearer than the bus. On the other hand, I've got children. It's a bit of a treat for them, isn't it? Going on the train. As you see across the road, it's the main bus terminal here. Catch number 1 or number 2, normally back to Sunny Beach. They're very regular, every few minutes. I say, here's the train. It's actually, I think it's been painted through the winter. That does look quite smart today. So we're going to go up into the old town, have a wander around and have a coffee, which would be really nice. And this is a World Heritage Site. It's protected. Oh, that's good. Sue's gone across the crossing, stopped the car for me. That's handy. So it's very pretty. But be aware, there are a lot of cobbled streets here with cobblestones. So if you've got anybody with you in a wheelchair, anything like that, and difficult walking, it's not ideal. It's quite hard work because the cobbles are quite rough in places, even though they're brand new. They've only been laid 2 or 3 years. But anyway, lots of people about. Some people obviously posing today, trying to look good in the photographs. She looks better than I do, but there you go. So let's have a wander around. Oh, we're just up to one of the main squares, and you see lots and lots of flowers. Just past lots of roses coming in. And the rose beds are fantastic, but there's lots of flowers. So we need a bit of water just to keep everything green. And there's lots of churches here to look at. You can actually get entry, you pay for it to get in them, but very pretty, really, really old Byzantine churches. Very, very old. And you can see it's a great place to wander around. day like this, when you can't rely on the beach, lots and lots of shops, lots of coffee shops, lots of restaurants. And it's very interesting to walk around. If the seagulls would be a bit quieter, that would help. One of the things about Bulgaria that is really a local thing, really, is you see all these shops along here. There's all the shops, which appear to be empty. And you see these people sitting opposite, eating their crisps, drinking their coffee. They're the shopkeepers. So they are waiting to pounce. As soon as you show interest in that shop or walk in the door, they're ready to run across the road and sell you something. So if you don't see anybody in the shop, it doesn't mean it's not got staff in. They're just sitting outside having a coffee, waiting for you to come along and grab you. Oh, there's a lady in a shop there. That's very unusual. Anyway, I'm going to wander through another couple of squares and have a look at and find a coffee. The one thing along here you will find is you'll see the ice cream stalls. Now these are everywhere, Raffy ice cream. Now, they put a price on, it's $2.19. Now, this is where, as a tourist, you get absolutely done. That is selling by the weight, so that's 100 grams, which is, say, one little scoop, which is $2.19. So if you ask for sort of three, oh, I'd like one flavour of that, one of that, and one of that, before you know it, it's like 10 levs. So if you've got children, you're probably safer just buying an ice lolly or an ice cream that's ready made, because these are very expensive. There's a couple of shops here, I've had them before, they're fine, but you've got to be very aware of the traders, because they will cram a lot of ice cream into your cone and ram it in, because you're paying them by weight. So just be aware they can be very expensive. Now if you've got young children, the first square I came to is big playground for your young children, and you find because they live in flats and they have to get out because they live in apartments, the Bulgarians. There's loads of little children's playgrounds. So if you're trying to amuse your young children or grandchildren when you're in Bulgaria, just go to the little playgrounds and they'll be happy for hours. It's a lovely little one here, little slides, not hard to find. The other thing about Nessebar, if you go back about 5 years ago, it was full of shops selling leather jackets and fur coats and sort of lots of leather clothing, which I was always surprised at that, because it's like 30 degrees and you're sweating and they're trying to sell you a leather jacket. There is still a lot of leather for sale here, as you can see, the bags. And this shop, the smell is just wafting across the road. Oh, that smells really strong, that does. There's lots of pottery, little knickknacks. Mind you, if you're flying on Budget Airlines UK, you don't want too much crockery, because it'll end up in 20 pieces when you get home. I've thrown that in the hold. Anyway, there's quite a bit of artwork here, pictures for sale, little knickknacks.
So that'd be new, wouldn't it? Honey pot.
We've been here lots and lots of times, but it's still interesting, and every time you come, see something a little bit different. The old ruined church here in the middle. Last summer I actually saw a wedding taking place in here. It was absolutely fantastic. With all the chairs out, lots of guests, a very pretty altar. There's not a lot left of the church. That's a bit peculiar, because normally there's loads of pigeons up in these holes. Oh, there's one up there. There's just one. Normally there's loads of pigeons, but it's just one poor sad pigeon sitting up there today, all on his own. Ah, good for a photo shoot though. And so on a day like this, when it's definitely not beach weather, it's a good idea to come out, have a wander round. use your time. It's very pretty at night because they do light all the shops up and they do look quite fantastic, spectacular, some of the shops. The light shop across there is fantastic at night. It is good. Anyway, carry on. So here we have a little church that's open. It's a museum and they've replaced the roof. Looking at it, yeah, definitely put some different roof on. That's not the original. It's a very pretty little church. And then across the lane, there we go, across the street, we have another church that hasn't been restored with no roof. So there are so many churches here. Every time you turn a corner there's another little church, but the finish on them is quite unique. You've got layers of brick, and you've got stone, and you've got pottery as well into the walls. So they're quite interesting. I mean, that arch, obviously very, very old, but it's really interesting how they managed to get that has stayed up. Actually looks quite intact, because obviously the weight of the stone keeps it up. And we have a baby seagull behind the stone arch. You can see it. There's a nest, and the babies, they've got two little chicks. I don't like seagulls, but anyway, you can see them. She's got two little baby chicks up there.
Oh, yes.
Who are nesting on top of the church here. There you go. Oh, really cute. Waddling around. And that's the thing about Nessebar, if you bring your camera, it's a great place for a photo shoot. I've taken pictures of seagulls and birds and different, just little doorways and little signs. It's really, if you take your time, you can always find something interesting here. And it's such a contrast to Sunny Beach. You couldn't get a bigger contrast between the concrete hotels and this really old architecture. You can wander around and have a look at. I've been here loads of times, but I always find something a little bit different. And there are loads of really nice little courtyards. There's one here. Oh, look at this one. We camp out here the other week. There you go, a little winery. One of the typical little yards. You can go in, sample some wine. It's very pretty, little flower boxes. It's quite cool. I could spend an hour or two in there, but unfortunately we've got to drive home, so I can't do that today. Oh, what a shame. I've now walked back to New Nessebar, the municipality centre. Gonna have a coffee and then go pick our car up from the garage, and this is where you've got your banks, post offices and civic buildings. It's a beautiful square. It's well worth having an afternoon up in New Nessebar. Just over the back here you've got the sea. You can see Sunny Beach over there. But it's quite interesting walking around. Some little pedestrian shopping areas. Lots of restaurants here and lots of coffee shops as normal. But most people just come through this on the bus on the way to Old Nessebar, and it's a bit of a shame because it's well worth having a walk around. And we've just been to the tile shop, paid loads of money for my tiles today. Then we've got to go and rescue the car from the garage, so it's going to be a quiet evening this morning, I think, after all that. So ciao ciao for now.